You are listening to How to Get Over Your Ex, episode number 210, How to Stop Worrying About Your Breakup. Welcome to How to Get Over Your Ex, a podcast on getting over your ex without it just taking time. I'm your host, breakup coach Dorothy. Let's turn your pain into power and your heartbreak into happy. Hello, beautiful bravehearts. I love you so much. I hope you are doing well considering everything you've gone through. You are a badass. Now, today, I want to talk about worry. Worry is a life sucker. And for how unproductive of an emotion, or not an emotion, of an action or behavior worry is, we all seem to participate in it a lot, especially in breakups. I asked some of my Bravehearts inside of the Get Over Your Ex program what they found themselves worrying about when it came to their breakup, whether it had to do with getting over their ex or building their bigger and better life. And here is what they mentioned when it comes to what they used to worry about. And I'm sure a lot of you can really resonate with a lot of these. So know that we are going to be talking to them today, and we are going to be, when I say talking to them, I mean talking to those worries, not to the actual Bravehearts in the program, but we are going to be talking to these worries today. We're going to address what worry is and why it's not working, and I'm going to give you some very tangible next steps on what you can do instead of worrying. Okay, so what my Bravehearts found themselves worrying about in their breakup was, you guys, this was number one across the board. I think everyone who submitted something said, I worry about being alone for the rest of my life, or another flavor of that. But this was like the top thing. I worry about being alone for the rest of my life. I worry I'm never going to have the type of relationship that I want. I worry that he is going to have the relationship I wanted with him with someone else. I worry I'll have to settle for a disappointing relationship. I worry I won't be able to find a connection with anyone else like I had with my ex. I worry that I worry about dating apps and not knowing what I'm doing. I worry I'll never get over my ex. I worry that I'll have to make decisions on my own and that won't be good. And I worry about what other people think about me and think about the situation. Now, I am sure there are other areas we worry about in breakups and divorce that aren't listed here, but it's a real thing and it's happening. And I want to show you what happens when you worry so that you can see and really understand it on a new depth, and perhaps feel safe enough by the end of this episode to give up worry altogether. What if you went the rest of your breakup not worrying at all? Just decided it wasn't something you participated in anymore. Like, did you even know that that was an option? It is, and I'm going to show you how and why that might be a really good option for you. Okay? So let's just start with, what is worry? Google, the amazing Google internet, says worry is a verb, and it's stated, give way to anxiety or unease, allow one's mind to dwell on difficulty or troubles. That's really fascinating, right? Allow one's mind to dwell on difficult or troubles. So in short, I think worry isn't action. I think it's an action, right? Even Google stated it was a verb. It's a behavior we choose. Google said allow, but it's a behavior we choose or don't choose to participate in. We spin in circles and think about a problem while not doing anything about it, right? Now, the fascinating part is the problem could be a present in our current reality problem, or most often I'm seeing humans worry about made up problems that aren't even problems yet, that we don't even know will be problems. I like to call this future tripping. We're tripping over things that aren't even here yet. So notice if the things I mentioned, I want you to take a moment and notice that the things that I mentioned earlier, 7 out of the 9 that I mentioned are imaginary problems that do not exist in reality right now. Isn't that crazy? I'm going to be alone forever. That's not a problem that's in the current reality. They're future tripping. And here's the thing, worry never gets us closer to the solution. When we are worrying about something, we are asking questions that we never answer. What if this or what if that? We just sit in the fear of it happening. We aren't problem solving. We aren't planning. We aren't creating acceptance for ourselves around the problem or the fake problem. We aren't getting better at a skill set that would better prepare us. And you know what's funny about all of that is we can do all of that. We can better prepare ourselves, problem solve, and create acceptance without worry. There's actually no logical point to worry. I'd even argue to say that I'm better at gaining new skill sets and problem solving when I'm not worrying. But our brain thinks it's required. Our brain is like, if I don't worry about it, it's not going to get solved. I'm not even better when I'm worrying about something. So I want you to see that worry is not working. I know that maybe you've heard this before, or maybe you've looked at this or explored this, but really look at it for a second with me. It's not working. It's not helping you better prepare for future problems. It's not helping you solve current problems. It's not helping you feel better. It serves no purpose. Worry isn't bringing your ex back. Worry isn't keeping you from being alone for the rest of your life. Worry is not helping you create the kind of relationship you want now or in the future. Worry is not keeping you from your ex being with someone new and being the person you wanted them to be. It's only keeping you from being the person you want to be to attract the kind of person who shows up for you that way. Worry isn't keeping you from settling for less. I actually think it causes you to settle for less. Worry doesn't help you create connection with others. It actually blocks it. Worry doesn't help you figure out your dating style, apps or no apps. Worry doesn't help you get over your ex. It keeps you spinning out. Worry doesn't help you make good decisions for future you. It often actually keeps you in indecision and therefore results in decision debt. And worry doesn't stop other people from thinking whatever the heck they want to think about you. So then what? If worry is literally pointless, what do we do about it? How do we stop worrying about things in your breakup? And I've got a couple of tangible practices that I use with my Bravehearts inside of the Get Over Your Ex program that I want to share with all of you today. Okay? The first one. This one, many of you will not even be willing to do. And I want to urge you to do it anyways. I want to give you a couple of examples, and I strongly encourage you that this is one of the best things you could do for you, and it could be the best thing for you to feel better and to stop worrying long term. That will totally change your life. Okay? Drum roll, please. Okay, first one. Go to worst case scenario and make peace with it. What? This is a hard one, right? So hard for the mind to get on board with. You're telling me after all of this thoughts create feelings stuff, you want me to go to worst case scenario? You want me to think about worst case scenario? Well, you already are because you're worrying about it. So we have to go to worst case scenario and let's learn how to make peace with it. This is seriously one of the best things I have ever done. I did it with money once and haven't worried about money since. I've also done this with baby Marilyn post-miscarriage, and it's been the only thing that brought me calmness. So let's talk about this in a tangible way. I'll give you an example. Money. We've got to get outside of your breakup so you can see this in a different setting. You ready? Money. I have been personally making some really big, huge changes in my business. Okay? And the thing is, these changes are really scary to me. I've built something that works. It helps so many people. It runs like a well-oiled machine. And changing so much of it feels like I'm breaking something that's working. Like what got me to where I am now won't get me to where I want to be. And therefore, something that feels like a big change, which really isn't a big change to a lot of other people, it's scary to me. I'm scared. And it was keeping me from doing the things required to get it done. I was spending my time worrying, not making decisions, dragging my feet, sitting in confusion. So finally, I went to worst case scenario, y'all. And it was so freeing. I said, look, you know what? What happens if I mess it up so bad that I never sign a single client ever again? Like I break my well-oiled machine, the business shuts down, the podcast goes away, I lose my house, I run out of money, and I'm on the streets. My family would never let me live on the streets, but like, let's just go there. What was fascinating is the stuff that actually brings me real joy in my life was still going to be around. Snuggling with Tinkerbell. I can do that on a box, on the street. Manual labor, working with my hands in the ground, gardening. I am sure someone will let me do that for free in their yard to help them out. And lastly, connection brings me so much joy, serving other humans and helping them with their problems. I can totally teach and help with feelings, even if I'm homeless. I can still have amazing connections with other human beings. So worst case scenario is I lose everything and I have even more time for all the things that bring me joy. Whoa, right? Okay, second example. Let's talk about kids. I want to be a mom. Baby Marilyn, I really want to be pregnant. For those of you who are new, I have already named my unborn child, my not even conceived child, Marilyn. So baby Marilyn, I really want to be pregnant and I want to carry my own child and I want to have baby Marilyn. And after this past miscarriage, I had to really think about what if I don't? I noticed myself spending way too much time worrying about it rather than taking whatever steps felt right in the present moment. So I did the same thing. I went all the way to what if I don't? What if I don't have baby Marilyn? And can I find peace around that? I did, 1000%. And let me tell you how I did it. It was really great, actually. I was on a call, a coaching call, where a woman was getting coached and she said, I never wanted a child. My husband wanted a child. So now we have a 1-year-old. And my husband has a chronic illness. And now I am the primary caregiver for a child I didn't even want. My mind was blown listening to her talk about this. She was like, I'm really sad and I'm mourning this life I always thought I'd have. And she went on to describe this life. And it was interesting because she was describing the life I live right now. And I was like, whoa, lady, you're killing me. Mind blown. I have this life and I'm wishing I had yours. You have that life and you're wishing you had mine. And just seeing how much she loved my life made me realize how much I love my own life. And there are so many things I can do and get to do without children. And if I don't have baby Marilyn, there are so many ways I get to be a mother figure. I already volunteer at multiple organizations that help me feel like a mom. I could always foster, I could always adopt, but also maybe I never have a child and my life will be dedicated to a different cause. And I'll make an impact in so many other ways. I have found peace in all of that. Worry is gone. It is not needed to continually work towards these goals. Just because I'm not worrying about these things doesn't mean I'm not making moves towards them. I'm taking steps to build the business I want. I'm taking steps to be the mom to baby Marilyn. I'm still doing the things, but with a lot less resistance, a lot less indecision, a lot less confusion and lack. All of it's just not required. I cannot emphasize enough that by going to worst case scenario and making peace with it, it does not mean we don't still create it and have belief in it. I know for certain baby Marilyn will be in my life and I don't have to worry about it. I know for certain I'll create the business I want and I don't have to worry about it along the way. It's simply a way to show the brain that, hey, even if we don't get those things, even if that does happen, we're good. It's so beautiful. I want you to try it. I know it's kind of scary thinking about going to worst case scenario and making peace with it. But just know that when you're doing that, you're not accepting it so that you don't go after it. You're accepting it so that while you go after it, you can do it with peace and calmness and clarity. So here are some other ways to help yourself stop worrying in your breakup. You can also pray, ask for help. Literally give it up to the universe or to God, whatever you believe in. You don't have to carry it all alone. You don't have to force things into existence. There is something bigger working behind the scenes. Ask them to work on it behind the scenes, right? Another thing, give equal airtime to the best case scenario. It's all made up anyways. You might as well give the positive just as much airtime as the negative, if not more. Maybe I'll be alone forever, but what if I'm not? What if I met someone soon? What if I met someone who is better? What if it was a better connection? What if they had more of what I wanted? Give equal airtime to the best case scenario. And another thing that I think is really, really important and is still a tangible, practical tool to release worry is processing the emotion that is creating the worry. Now, processing emotions is something I talk a lot about on this podcast. Feeling feelings, getting comfortable experiencing emotion, not so that you can just let the emotion be there all the time, but being able to get comfortable with discomfort. When you do that, you have the power to do anything. So yes, if I lost everything, I would definitely feel embarrassed. I'd have to feel that feeling and everything would be okay. I feel comfortable in my ability to process that potential future emotion. And I'm good at processing fear, the current emotion of that happening, right? Can you process the emotion that is fueling the action or the behavior of worry? It's most of the time fear. All right, my brave hearts. Worry is not required. It doesn't help you problem solve or take action in any productive way. It's literally pointless. Could you release worry permanently? What if you went the rest of your breakup journey without worry? You just decided here and now today you are not the person that worries, and you use these tools to release the worry. I want you to use one of the tools or maybe all of the tools I've given you today to help you truly make a lasting change in your breakup experience to have a better quality breakup journey. All right, I love you all so much. Thanks for tuning into today's episode. If you found it helpful, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe to the How to Get Over Your Ex podcast for more episodes like this. And if you found any of our episodes helpful, we'd really love a written review on the Apple Podcast app to help other heartbroken humans turn their pain into power and their heartbreak into happy. If you're loving the How to Get Over Your Ex podcast and you want to learn how to get over your ex in 3 months or less to build a life better than the one you thought you had with your ex, I would like to personally invite you to my next group course where we take everything you've learned here on the podcast and apply it to your life. Come check it out at www.lifecoachdorothy.com.